Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. The mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. Hmm. You're going to look like this, but I don't want you to have to ever request two trains, so I'm going to remove the second one. What's likely to happen here is that I'm just going to have the train just sit here. Is that I will just set this at a train request of 1. And I won't even count. I'll just have it here. I missed a bunch of chat. Yeah, Bob, everything has its limits. There are other calculators that might help you out on that. I think that Calculatorio has a function that'll help you there, Bob. So yeah, I'm seriously considering of just setting this to be hard coded to 1 so that they don't sit there in their unloader. Just always come here. Set it to empty there, full there, and then forget about the fancy stuff. Yeah, Bob. It that's a good point. Yeah. So now to satisfy this, I have a thing for the speed modules. I'm gonna put satellites on their own build somewhere else. Low density structures I got. Solar is part of satellite. Steel is low density structures and satellites, so I'll have to be careful to spread that out. So for low density structures, it needs 56, so it's going to be a 64 stack. I'm not using steel here, so I have to take this one, which is an old one. So I'll have to redo this. So that's 64. And I'm just going to be sort of slapping these down just to give me sizings. I'm not serious about what I'm doing there. 33. That's on speed ones. So those are here. So 32 right there. So I'd have to go to 40. That's unfortunate. It's 33 on the nut. But I don't want to be constantly running short. So this is going to go here. That's the steel. Accumulators, I don't care. Batteries. Batteries are only going into accumulators, don't care. I tell you what, I'm just going to turn off the satellite. And that will change this to remove there we go. All of that. Blue circuits, I need 22.1. Yeah, Bob, I don't consider leaving the game running to be of my optimal use of time. If the game can't do what I want it to do while I'm playing the game, then something's not set up correctly. I need 22 blue circuits. That is 40. That's 32, that's 24, so I just need 3 rows of that. Sulfuric acid.
just need one. And I happen to have a sulfuric acid breakdown right here. Well, that's 2. But these are not going to be scaled for maximum usage. They're just for what I need so that I don't overconsume. Because I do got to build quite a few of them. Although there is something to be said for overbuilding. Because it gets turnaround to be faster. But I already got that. Red circuits, I need 86. Green circuits, I need 32. Oh, I'm not inferring in that regard, Bob. I was referring to a limitation of the game. I wasn't referring to a limitation of the player. I was referring to if the game can't satisfy your desire for satisfaction in time that you spend in front of the game, then the game has an imbalance in that it's just a drag and that it shouldn't do that. That is 32. Interesting that I only need one green circuit build. Copper cable. 44. I don't want to grab a whole bunch of landfill, but whatever. Or bridge rail. This is 32, and I need 44. Yeah, that's a good point, Bob. Lucci, thank you for the follow. I need 2 of these red copper cables. I'm going to put them here. Because you're basically the primary consumers. Low density structures I got, steel I got, iron I got. 141. So basically I am going to need look up ratios and things like that. I also get blueprints for malls because building malls makes me sad. I enjoy building my own method of things, even if they're not optimal. Yeah, well, it's Factorio. Do it to your enjoyment. Full stop. Rule zero of Factorio is it's a game, play it your way, have fun. I know that's three parts of the same rule, but really, that's super important that you acknowledge that. 144, I need 141, so I'm just going to need one of these. The parts you like to do them. The parts you don't like to do, don't do them. Smokin' wants his name on a tray. I'm working in Africa. I'm working. The Factorio community does not allow you to play it your way. That much is true, but you know, I'm not talking about the Factorio community. I'm talking about you. And that burgers and fries is why we can't have world peace. That burgers and fries is why we can't have world peace. Well, I used to be a big fan of Reddit Zeus, and I wondered why people gave it a lot of crap. And then the more time I spent there, the less I found my opinions to be approved. And then when my shit started getting censored, and I used to donate at Christmas on the Reddit forum, the Factorio subreddit. I used to donate copies of the game, and if I can't speak freely, then I'm not going to speak. So I left that environment. Smoking's already got trains there. Smoking's already got trains there. There's 8 trains with this stop. There's one that doesn't have Smoking's name on it. It's going to have it on in a minute, though. You really need a train, man. Can you hook a brother up? By the way, I released vehicle sticker today. 204, 235, 52. Thanks. I will eventually add copy paste to it. Thank you, Smokin'. Appreciate it. You have yet another copper cable train to your name. You're like monopolizing the reading railroads. Visit the subreddit, yeah. Well, Factorio subreddit used to be fantastic. It really did. And then Discord kind of replaced it. You have cornered the copper market, copper cable. And as far as underbelts are concerned, Zeus, they are more efficient if you're getting value for the underbelt. They're more space efficient. I tend to shy away from them, and I keep my belts as short as possible for consistency. But the reason I keep my belts as short as possible and I use overbelt more is for viewers, so that you can see what's on the belt. Because if you're watching the stream and you're only tuned in for a couple of seconds at a time, if it's all underbelt, you won't be able to see what's there. But if it's, surface belt, normal belt, you'll have a better chance. Like if these were all underbelts, doom, 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 you wouldn't be able to see what's on that. You wouldn't know, and I wouldn't know. One of the reasons that I love using belts, like in this design, I can tell when one of these is running out because it's not full, and that's important. Well, thanks, Burgers, but that's part of a good factory. All right, so I only need one iron outpost for this whole thing. That's fantastic. Copper, it looks like I need two because it's 144. 144 times 2 is 180, is 288. So let's go grab a couple of coppers. Well, I'm sure you can, Burgers. As a matter of fact, the fact that I look at other streamers and I see you commenting and posting there, I know you can. But I'm happy you're here. I like having you here. Nap on a belt. Grabby boy. That's funny. Okay, that's copper cable, that's steel, that's iron, plastic, 20.7 plastic. Oh, this is for 3. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Um, yeah, because these are going to be 3 buys, or I'm going to have 3 of these. I forgot it about that. Wonder if I want to do it that way. I mean, that's not my design philosophy, is to put 3 of them, is to split that. My design philosophy is to satisfy one. So maybe what I should be doing is designing this to support one rocket silo and then go from there. Hmm. 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 Duplicate this. change this to a 1. Then it's only 31 of these. Which is 32, which is this, which is 4 rows of 8. Huh. I gotta think about that. I'll be back in a minute. Hello, Wilsonic. So now that I've started laying this out, all of my previous commentary or design on this was questioning how many rocket silos does it take to fill a blue belt. 3 rocket silos will fill a blue belt. 1.1. Right, that's what this shows us, is that it's 1.1 blue belts. But everything else I'm doing with this MegaBase build is an independent stack of itself. So here I am almost done with this, realizing that maybe what I want to do is just have one rocket silo and have all the things for that rocket silo, and then have another rocket silo and all the things, and then just do that 12 times. 3 smoking. It takes 3. Mithy, yeah. Because I was going on a premise of how do I fill, because the output belt is the limit, right? When you're unloading, is you fill a yellow belt, you fill a blue belt with probably just 2 unloaders. But if I do this, so let me get this lazy bastard working again. But what if I instead design it to only support 1? So I'm going to put this on hold. I'm not even going to finish it because this has kind of gripped me. Well, good luck seeing all this on mobile. Oh, those things expired. They all need to be replaced. Interesting that I didn't get perfect squares out of those. I should have gotten perfect squares. Because the coverage should be the same either way. So, let's start over. Nice. And look at it that way. So let's assume we're going to have this. How many low density structure, or how many rocket components am I going to need? 32. So that's 24. That's 32. Low density structures is going to be 21. So that's 24. And rocket fuel is going to be 31. So that's 32. From that, I need 8 blue circuit modules. That was steel. So if it's 8 of them, that's just a row of 1. And I need 1 acid. That's technically 2 acid, but looking at this, that's 1 sulfur. Did I even get the sulfur? I think I missed the sulfur. Boy, setting up this speed module thing turned out to be a real big bonus. Because now I'm just copying and pasting these individual pieces, and that's really nice. All right, so there's sulfur. So I am going to do a little bit of this, not a whole lot. Uh, and I'm also thinking about how am I going to do satellites, and satellites are probably going to end up on a small train and get delivered to this complex. So I'm going to have like a satellite unloader. And that satellite unloader is probably going to be a 121 as well. So something's going to have to tuck in here. And while this says this, that's not what it's actually going to be. This is probably going to be satellites. Oh, you little rat thing. I don't care that much. It's actually going to be satellites. If I do that, I'll need a roboport. But I'm probably going to need a roboport anyways because I need to fuel these trains. That's an unloader. And I fuel trains at unloading usually. And I'll have rocket fuel available to me from up there. I just need to pull one off to feed this train, so I don't need to deliver it. All right, so that's this speed modules. That's these. And I need 11. So that's 2 rows of speed modules. 16. And then that needs red and green. And pretty much all of the red and green go there. Yeah. Yeah, this hole is consumed by that. Interesting. So I need red, green, and copper. I'm going to put those off to the side of this. As a matter of fact, we're going to take this and we're going to move it over here. Because that is what you need, processors and these. Red, I need 30. So if I need 30 red, that's 32. There we go. And then green, I need 10. So that's going to be 16. And then smoking, I need 15. So that's just 2 of these. So these both get significantly smaller because I'm going to be taking out half of their feeds as well because they won't need them. Because I'm not double loading on the other side. so that all gets truncated and that'll get cleaned up. So these go from being 4 to 2 and 4 to 2. So they get simpler. And then I'm going to skip a bit and I'm going to go to plastic because some of the plastic is used there and some of the plastic is used there. So I'll put plastic here and then steel below it. Plastic in total is 7, so that's 1 row of plastic. And that's right here. And it's really hard not to do 2 there, but I'm trying to stay within what do I need versus what could I do. What is plastic? 1 coal and 20 petrol. So again, because we're not double loading it, we're just going to do this. And then steel, I need 16.5. Again, I don't have a steel. I don't have steel build in my new setup, so yeah, this is steel. So this is old design, it needs to be migrated. 16.5, so how many furnaces? 16.5, really? That's 16. What if this is changed? It doesn't change. Just change how much I need. That's amazing. Well, I guess I'm building a whole thing for this, a whole row. I need 0.5 more, but I don't have the flexibility to go less than that, so 24 it is. Bugger. All right, so this is plastic, and this is steel. Well, 16, the next up from 16 is 24. And then we're on to rocket fuel. I already got them, 32 there. All right, then we're on to solid fuel from light oil. No solid fuel from plastic, huh? I don't know about that. Let's do the miners first. All right, 47 of these. Well, this is about the smallest I can go is 144. Because it doesn't make sense to do it any other way. I guess I could cut this down to 1. So that's 72. All right, well, I'll just take half of them out. So it'll go something like that. And this will just have to be necked down to 4. Whatever that ends up looking like. It'll be something like that. So what is this, 16 to 4? Yeah, I don't have a 16 to 4. I can go 16 to 16 and then 16 to 4, and then just take every other one and make that 8. And then go 8 to 4. Is it 8 to 4? Or is it 8 to 8? Oh, it's 8. So this will be fine. That'll do it. They'll be relatively balanced. And then copper, I need 80 of them. And again, this is more than 80. So we'll do the same thing with copper. One thing that makes this copper is that. So now it looks like copper. And I don't need any of this because, well, yeah, you could summon 2 trains. Well, if you do summon 2 trains, it's not going to load up there, it's going to load up there. Just going to inline there. All right, so basically each of these is going to need an ore patch, and if I put them near each other, I can keep that other design and then just have multiple feeds and pretend it goes that way. They could have shared mining. I might keep this and just make sure I have enough, right? So basically each rocket silo needs access. For each rocket silo, I need, 44 or 47, and that's 72. So double 48, 96, so it's going to be more than that. So if I had this full still, if I was to use a full double feed like this, that could serve 2 silos, and a copper is 79. And this is 72. So you wouldn't quite feed 2 silos from that. But the big thing is, so let's just say that with a little bit of extra, 1 extra copper, and I'm only going to do 3 of these on the continent, which is questionable as to why, because I could probably do all 12 on Africa all by itself. If I keep these independent, then I don't care. All right, I'll solve that later. So, looking at rocket fuel. Rocket fuel, I've got 32 needed, 31 needed. I've got 32 there. Solid fuel, I need 19.4. I need 20. I don't have a solid fuel being made by this design yet, so that'll be a new piece of kit. But it is a a chemical plant, which I need 20 of. So that is 16. So let me find something that uses 3 rows of chemical plant, which I don't think I have. I mean, plastic is, but it's divided. You are perfect. Sulfur. So pretend for a moment that these are, oops, that was a mistake. That was cut, not copy. So this is incorrect. Incorrect, sir. But I go with the chemical plant here, and I set it to rocket solid fuel from this. All right, so that's chemical. That's 3 prod mods. Good. All right, so down here, what we do is we whack all of these. And I'll have to recalibrate the feeds and stuff because rocket fuel is simpler than this, but it's going to lay itself out like that. So there's solid fuel from oil, and that's kind of important to me, even though that's backwards. 6.1 refineries. This is where things start to get tricky. Because that is 8 refineries. I'm fine with that. No challenge there at all. We're good. This technically belongs over here. It's the cracking where it gets tricky. How do I control cracking? I mean, it's the same way. I'm going to control cracking the same way. I'm going to crack all the red, but I can't crack all the yellow. So I need this throttle on the yellow that I have here. So, yeah, and I just chose 7. I probably should have chosen a better signal, but um, red is just going to get cracked. That is 2.6. So this is just one row. All the red gets cracked. What are we looking at? 8, yep. I expect I'm going to be bringing in this oil by rail. I don't anticipate I'm going to keep these built up based on that. So I might as well anticipate that by duplicating this into there. Knowing that this is a bit of a mishmash and it'll need cleaning up. And then yellow gets cracked in